Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about GameStop and the GameStop pump and dump, the GameStop mania that happened just a few weeks ago. And it looks like the Securities and Exchange Commission is going to get involved, and federal charges might actually come out of this. And we're going to talk about what's going on with GameStop. We're also going to talk about the massive plummet of Tilray stock and all the cannabis stocks and how this is related to the pump and dump, Reddit, Wall Street bets forums, and how to watch out for this and make sure you don't get shook and don't get took. So we're gonna break this all down on the Black Financial Channel. So get comfortable. We're gonna get started right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. Make sure you subscribe. Today is an interesting day because there's a little bit, a little bit to discuss in terms of what you might call the pump and dump, or the financial version of the hit it and quit it. Where you get left with a baby and an STD. You don't get lifelong love. You get a you get a baby and an STD because people want to hit it and quit it in the stock market. And I'm starting to observe patterns in these pump and dumps, particularly as it relates to the digital space. In the digital space right now, with this forum called Wall Street Bets, there is a consistent, interesting effort to manipulate stock prices. And I see John Lewis Blake the third. I see you've been paying attention, brother, when you were talking about Tilray stock. Tilray is still a big money maker if you started buying Tilray back when we started talking about Tilray. When we started talking about Tilray, Tilray, somebody type in the chat because somebody's always like, well, how do you spell it? Is it Tilray, Tilray? It's Tilray, Tilray. That's one cannabis stock that I always like. There are others out there, right? There's a Freya and there's another one that's really blown up. I forgot the name of it, Sundial or something like that. But anyway, cannabis to me was always a great investment from long-term points of view. For in terms of a long-term perspective, I still love cannabis. Never stop loving it. But I really want to warn you about these pump and dumps. And if you own Tilray, Yasmin and Yasmin, is that Yasmin and Stacey Ann and Ali the Sag? If you own Tilray, you probably saw what happened. What happened to Tilray today, y'all? Did it keep going up? Did the pump keep pumping, or did the dump start dumping? What happened? What happened with Tilray stock today? A lot of you saw yesterday Tilray was on a run. And this relates to GameStop. And this is why GameStop and Tilray, all the common factor here is the Reddit forum called Wall Street Bets. Apparently, Wall Street Bets, they have kind of a scorched earth policy where they're basically going through the stock market and doing a series of pump and dumps that are questionable to me, and I'm going to explain why. And more importantly, because on this platform we're black first, right? Don't mean you got to be black to be here. I'll never discriminate against you because you're not black. That's the fact that you didn't get blessed with blackness. That's not your fault. So we're not going to hold that disability against you. But just know we're black first on this platform. We put the black community at the top of the priority list. And so, anyway, I'm kidding about the disability part. Just love who you are. Like whatever you want to be your superpower, pick that. But here's the deal. So I want to talk to you about these pump and dumps and what's going on with the Reddit Wall Street Bets forum, the GameStop mania, and also this thing recently with cannabis stocks. So first things first. You saw a couple weeks ago, GameStop just took off. It went on a frenzy. The stock went from $20 a share up to $400 a share, and that was way too high. And I said that. I mean, we talked about that at the time. I mean, Stevie Wonder could see that stock was super inflated like a hot air balloon, and everybody also knew, or at least you knew after we talked about it and you listened to me, that was not going to end well. That rise is going to end in tragedy. You're talking about almost like an athlete on major steroids, and you take the steroids away, and he shrinks down like a little baby. Well, basically, these stocks were on steroids, and so this was artificial pumping up of the stock. and it was easy to see where it was coming from. It was coming from the Wall Street Bets form. Well, that's led to a federal investigation, as I knew it would. The Securities and Exchange Commission, one of their goals is to maintain orderly markets, and they're not really thinking so much about the fat cats and the sharks and the wolves and the people that know how to make money. They're not worried about the Wolf of Wall Street. They're not worried about the short sellers or the hedge funds or the mutual fund managers or the people that have PhDs in finance like myself. They're worried about the little old lady in Atlanta who says, my grandson told me to invest in the stock market and I'm gonna go put my money in, and she buys GameStop at say 250. And because she's really a long-term investor, she's investing her social security money that she didn't have to use on her medication, and she's thinking that this is going to grow. And when she does that, the stock literally deflates like to nothingness, right? And that's a problem, because it's one thing if you have natural ups and downs, natural ebbs and flows, that makes sense. But when you have situations where a stock just dies and goes to 10% of its value, well, that's not fair. That's not right. That leads to a lot of disillusionment when it comes to stock market investing. I'm not here to tell you the stock market investing can't be corrupt. I'm not here to tell you the stock market investing doesn't have its issues, but I am here to tell you that markets are not supposed to work this way, and so the investigation was going to come whether you want it or not. Now, so where are we with this? Well, right now, according to the Wall Street Journal, all the feds are asking a lot of questions when it comes to Reddit. They're asking Wall Street Bets, that forum. They're investigating specific people. They're looking at trading records, and I think that they should. Now, here's the interesting thing: the whole Wall Street Bets scenario, the whole pump and dump scenario, was done under this idea that they were that they were doing a Robin Hood kind of thing, right? Like, we're gonna go get the hedge fund guys, screw them, let's go kick their butt, whatever, and that's fine. Nobody feels sorry for the hedge fund guys, but here's the problem with the pump and dump. This is why you got to watch out. Is that whenever there's a war, there's always collateral damage. Whenever there's a pump and dump, somebody gets hurt, because when that stock that is only worth $20 is trading at $400 a share, somebody's buying that stock. And I'm gonna just tell you, it ain't the Wall Street guys that are buying the stock. It's not the people on the Wall Street Bets forum. Not most of them. Not the leaders. Not the smart ones. It's the people that don't know what's going on, that really believe that this stock that's been artificially inflated is going to continue to go up in value, and they're going to get caught holding the bag if the market eventually plummets and that stock goes straight to hell. So, my goal is to basically tell you, when you see these pump and dumps, I'm not a big fan of these. I don't think participating in these on any or hardly any level makes a lot of sense. I still like Tilray. I am a big owner of Tilray stock, and believe me, my portfolio got body slammed this morning when Tilray stock plummeted. But let me tell you why I didn't get totally body slammed. When I see these things happening, when I see my stocks go up in value, I immediately start thinking, okay, let's protect this wealth. So I start looking into put options. I start looking at selling call options. I start doing things to try to protect my investment, so that when the price drops, which in a pump and dump it always ends bad, I, I I'm not gonna get killed, right? And at the very least, I might make a little bit of money, take my money off the top, and then I'm not so worried about it. Or if you're involved and you see the stock inflating at an insane level, and typically, if you see it inflating where there's no news to justify the inflation, where there's no announcement, meaning, if a company makes an announcement that says, hey, we just found out that we made an extra $10 billion, or that we didn't know about, or we made a merger with another company that's doubled our value, then things like that can make sense. But if there's not significant news to justify the massive price increase, that's when you see the signs of a pump and dump. And so yesterday, if you go back to this channel, yesterday I mentioned to you all, I did a video. I was on a college tour with my son. He's my bonus son, and we were doing a college tour, and I stopped in the middle of the tour to tell you guys that Tilray stock was doing insane things. It crossed the $70 share mark, which is outrageous, because originally, I think when I started buying it, it was about $8 or $9 a share. So to see Tilray at 70 just a couple months later was just unbelievable. And I mentioned also that what my research was telling me is that the Wall Street Bets guys had started jumping into cannabis. And what they are doing is they unfortunately are engaging in almost a type of activity that where you could almost define them, it's becoming almost like economic parasites. And the reason I use that term is because a parasite is something that will go from host to host to suck all the resources out of that host. And then when the host is dead and drained, they move on to something else. Why would I use that term? Well, what they're doing is they're kind of picking a target, right? They're saying, okay, GameStop. So come on, guys, let's go pump up the value of GameStop. Everybody buy GameStop. Come on, dude. Let's all go buy GameStop. GameStop to the moon, right? And then GameStop goes to 20, 30, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, and then it gets in the news. And then because it's on the news, people are buying it at 300, 350, 400, 400. And then there's a point where they start whispering to each other, all right, dude, time to start selling. All right, bro, let's start dumping. Let's start getting rid of the stock because the suckers are all in now, right? So you get there 2 days later and you're buying GameStop at $300 a share. Well, they're already telling each other on the forum to start selling. That's what they're doing. That's part of the reason from what I've gathered. Again, I have to read more in the forum, but from what I'm gathering, they're already telling their friends, like, okay, great, we made our money in cannabis. The parasite has drained the host. Now let's go ahead and get our money so we can then go pick a new target. So that's what I'm saying, and I think that is worthy of an investigation. I think the complexity of it, though, is that basically what they're doing isn't much different from what a lot of the hedge fund managers have done. A lot of hedge fund managers will play a game. Jim Cramer, who has that TV show, he really told on himself because he said that he talked about how they would do short sales, that they would sell the stock in advance so they could buy back later cheaper. And because remember, every sell has to have a buy. And what Jim Cramer said was that they would literally deliberately plant false innuendo in the media, false stories or stories where it's not quite like they're saying that it's false, but they're saying, I heard that Apple isn't going to make their numbers this quarter, or I heard that Apple's having trouble in one of their plants or whatever. And it'll drop the price of Apple just enough for them to buy it back. And by the time they find out that it's not true anymore, it doesn't matter. The price goes back up. They're already in and out, right? They're timing things that way. So this happens, with Wall Street guys. It's been happening a long time. So now that you have it happening on the internet, it creates a whole different dynamic. I think it's probably more impactful because you can actually really control that audience and bring together, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. I think the Wall Street Bets Forum has about 8 million people on it. Whereas on Wall Street, if you want to kind of do that manipulation, you got to get on a television network or something like that. But either way, this is the game that's being played, and there's always collateral damage. And so again, because I'm Black first, and I'm talking to y'all about ways to protect yourself, I want you to know the signs of a pump and dump. The signs of a pump and dump is, tend to be when the stock price moves without any significant news or information. One of the most fundamental things about financial theory that I learned on my first day of my PhD program is that stock prices move typically based on information and expectations that are based on that information. So it's information, expectations, and realizations, basically. And what does that mean? That means that basically when new information comes out, the price is going to wiggle based on the new information, which then allows you to form a new expectation. And then also you compare the realization to the expectation. So what does all that mean? That means basically that when a stock price moves and it moves a lot, there should be a reason. There should be some reason that relates to the fundamental economic value of that company. It shouldn't move just because a bunch of dudes, a bunch of investing bros on the Wall Street Bets forum decided they want to take this $20 stock and make it worth $150. That's not a rational investment. You're not investing at that point. You're gambling. You're not even trading. You're literally gambling. And so if you want to go roll the dice and shake the bones, that's cool. But don't mistake gambling for long-term investing. We're here to build generational wealth. At least I hope you are. You're here to lay down. You're laying down and having sex so you can make a baby, not so you can just disrespect the process of what you're trying to do. So just make sure you separate the two. If you want to go have your fun, go have your fun, but don't go have fun with your grandkids' inheritance. Be smart. All right. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Right there, the blackstockmarketchallenge.com. That's a free challenge you can do. It's like a free little mini class. So feel free to do that if you want to learn more about investing. And basically, I send you emails for 5 days and kind of get you up to speed on investing. It's totally free. And then at the end, you get an offer, to join one of the programs at a huge discount. But if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. The Black Stock Market Challenge is totally free. Also, you can get on our email list and get free stuff from the Black Business School. If you go to firstshareofstock.com, that's the URL right there. It not only shows you how to buy your first share, but there's a lot of free stuff that we give you. We want to help you out and make you smart. So, Dogecoin, what do I think about Dogecoin? I think Dogecoin is a worthless investment, but it doesn't mean that the value can't go up in the short term. I can't see Dogecoin being a good long term investment. I think that the things that you invest your money in should be assets that actually hold their value. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't go buy some Dogecoin for fun. I bought Dogecoin. I thought it was just like a fun little pranky, gimmicky investment. I was like, I wonder if I can predict how many stupid people there are that'll push the price of Dogecoin up to insane levels. Maybe Dogecoin's going to rise to $20 a coin and I'll make a killing off of it, right? But I wasn't putting my real money in Dogecoin. I wasn't putting my real money in GameStop. So when I tell you that it's okay to play around, sure, we all do it. I do it all the time. I think it's great. But just know when I'm making my real investments, when I'm really trying to build the Watkins family empire, I'm not going Dodge. My empire would not be built on Dogecoin. It's not built on GameStop. It's not. It's built on strategic, systematic, diversified portfolio investments all the way across the board. It's built on research into which industries are going to dominate the future. When I look at crypto, it's because I have tremendous appreciation and respect for blockchain. By the way, the blockchain, the crypto gentlemen are coming on to the podcast. I think it's tonight. I think they're scheduled for tonight at 7. And they're going to talk about what's going on in crypto. I believe blockchain has a lot of potential. I believe electric vehicles are going to be massive. I believe that cannabis is going to go off the chain. Legalization is only a matter of time. I believe Bitcoin is showing the ability to grow into something extraordinary in the next year or two. So those are the long-term investments that I'm making. Ethereum, thank you, Dexter. I love the Ethereum network. The Ethereum network has real people who are really smart, who are really committed, and that the growth and the value of that crypto, I think, could be at the beginning stages of something that's extraordinary. So if you want to know sort of what I'm doing long term to truly build massive wealth, it ain't stuff like whatever's going on Wall Street bets. Like that's child's play, right? So just invest like a grown up too, right? So I'm not telling you what to do. Just invest like a grown up as you're having fun. All right. So the Tilray stock you told us to buy is flopping down 40% today. So Robert must be new because Robert doesn't understand that I never tell you what to buy. I tell you what I buy, and I told you I do own Tilray, and I didn't sell it. I'm still an owner, and I started buying Tilray. I started talking about Tilray when Tilray was at $10 a share. Right now, Tilray, from what I understand, is at what is it, $48 a share or something like that. Let me look. I'm gonna look on my other screen. Give me a yes or no in the chat if you can still hear me. I'm pulling up on my other app to see. Oh, $35 a share. Okay, so Tilray is tanking, and but I told you guys, pump and dumps don't end well. I told you. Tilray's true value is probably about $30 a share, $35 a share. I was okay with 40 something. When it started getting to the 50s, 60s, and 70s, I said, holy crap, there must be something else happening here. Either that deal they made is a massive deal that's massive on a level that I didn't recognize, or something fishy is going on. So the fishy thing that was going on, which we talked about yesterday, I want y'all to pay attention. I hate it when people hear the part about, what I'm buying and they don't hear the rest where I say, here are the caveats, here are the issues, here are the concerns, right? And that's important because unfortunately, we have some investors that are new that don't really understand what investing really looks like. So I want to just make sure that's clear. But I mentioned to you guys yesterday that the Wall Street bets guys had artificially inflated the stock. I said that to you yesterday. So with this artificial inflation, you can't depend on that. You can't depend on that. That they're feeding you illusions at that point. So everything in that Tilray stock in particular, just speaking on Tilray, I felt like it was after 45, you were looking at an illusion. You were not looking at real fundamental value. It was a game at that point. It was a pump and dump game, right? So my thought is, well, if you know you're in a pump and dump, that's fine as long as you know what it is, right? It's like if I know that we're doing a one night stand, it's okay for me to do a one night stand, but I better not think this is a long term relationship. Because if I think that we're in a long term relationship, but you're really there for a one night stand, then I'm going to end up disappointed at the end of the week. So I don't want you to be disappointed. The pump and dumps are the one night stands. If you want to do a one night stand and you're freaky like that, then go do your one night stands. But don't mistake your one night stands for your long term relationships. That's the best way to describe this. I know that's a weird way. I know I'm a weird person, but just chalk it up to the fact that I'm a little crazy. All right. So by the way, I'm gonna go hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and also the Black Wealth Bootcamp meets tonight. So if you want to join us for the Black Wealth Bootcamp tonight, Lamar Tyler, who's made millions of dollars on the internet, is going to come through and talk about how to make money online, and it's going to be really great. He runs Traffic Sales and Profit Group, which is a group of Black business owners, and I think this past year, I think they made maybe 60, $70 million in, within the group. So it's a great forum to take a look at. And Lamar is a super smart guy, and he's coming into the Black Business School today, and we're gonna hang out. So if you want to join us, you can get all the recordings. Go to blackwealthbootcamp.com. It's a really good program. All right, so I'm out of here, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Last point I'll make is I'll agree with you, George Franklin. Cannabis is gonna become legal. So Tilray, while right now Tilray might be worth $40 a share, I believe over time, companies like Tilray, it wouldn't surprise me if Tilray went to much, much higher levels as we get closer to legalization. The problem is that the growth that you saw yesterday was just a bit premature, but it doesn't mean that your cannabis companies aren't solid. I do a diversified portfolio in cannabis. I don't pick one company is not my savior. What I do is I invest in several different cannabis companies. I also invest in cannabis ETF funds so that if Tilray dies, right, if Tilray isn't the winner in the next generation of cannabis, that's okay. There are other companies that'll still be around, and I'll own a piece of those companies, right? So that's what you do. You don't put everything, in just, put your eggs in one basket. So let's see. Somebody asked, how do you sell options? I have a masterclass on stock options. It's really good. So if you want to learn more about options and how I use options, feel free to go to stockoptionsmasterclass.com. It's really good. By the way, all of our stuff on the Black Business School has a money back guarantee. If you're not happy, so there's no risk. You're gonna love it. All right, so I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Peace.